Hello, I'm Christy, and this is MamieGraceDesigns. So I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and my husband and I own a small business called Freeze Specialty Cleaners, Specialty Dry Cleaning. I do the bookkeeping for that. I also do some other things. I tutor in the public schools here, that's volunteer work. I substitute teach for math in the middle school where my children attended. I train dogs, here's one, speaking of. I play tennis and I knit a lot. So, and the name of my little business, MamieGraceDesigns, comes from my grandmother's name and my great-grandmother's name. My grandmother was Mamie. She was like a second mother to me, loved her dearly. Might be my grandmother name when I get there. And then my great-grandmother was Grace, who was a total force to be reckoned with. So let's talk about what I'm wearing today. I have on my Crown Wools shawl, which was the first mystery knit along that I've ever done. And probably, it was definitely a big project for me. It's by Casapinka, and I bought the kit from my local yarn shop. It was 12 mini skeins. I have it doubled. You could wear it single. It is a very large shawl. I don't know if you can tell this, but I should have measured it. I will measure it and put it in the notes. But this is a very long shawl. So it took a long time, but it was also very rewarding and flew by because number one, Addie, stop. Every color change made it fun, and every section had a different pattern. So I learned a lot of new stitches. It was great for a beginning knitter. And what made it even more fun was you got a drink recipe with each week's pattern. And I was on a girls trip up to Rockport, Massachusetts, which is a wonderful place. If you've never been, highly recommend it. Kind of like an artist enclave, little town, nothing commercial there. And we would sit on the front porch and we would have one of those cocktails and I would knit and we would just gab and have a great time and look at the beautiful ocean. So this holds a great memory for me. It's 100% superwash merino, and again, what I love about shawls is there's no swatching, there's no size to worry about, you just pick it up and knit. Okay, on the mannequin today, I have my Ninilchik Swancho, I hope I said that right, by Caitlin Hunter. It is a DK weight yarn, and I'm sorry, I don't have my I didn't have a knitter's notebook back then, so I don't know what yarn I used. When I started it, I had a hard time choosing my colors, and when I finally went with them, as I almost got completed, I didn't really love my colors. And then once I wore it, I was like, oh, I do love it. And now I'm back to, I just don't love it. I don't love this greeny color. I love the magenta, but it was a fun knit. It took me about a year. It's my first color work to ever do. And I loved the color work part. It's when I got to past the color work that it got boring to me, and every row just took forever. I think I had like 400 stitches. I wish that I had gone longer. My sleeve length is great. It's kind of a 3/4 sleeve, but I wish I had gone longer on my length of the Swancho. I wear a tank top under it and that works just fine, but if I had to do it over again, I would definitely go a little longer, and I don't have the leftover yarn anymore, so I can't add to it. Just, I would do differently if I make another one, which I might possibly make another one, because I really enjoyed it, and it's fun to wear. I get compliments on it every time I wear it. I feel like I say frequently that I wish I had gone longer. I think I have a long torso. So, now I'm going to share a test knit that I just finished. It's a little hat, cute little hat. And it is called the Serrano Family Hat. Got this cute little pom. I actually did a little bit more on the ribbing than it called for, because I didn't want it to be like super tight on top of my head. I used, let's see, it's by, I hope I can say this right, Agasajos El Bugalos. I'll put that on the screen. Sandra is the designer, and she's lovely to work with. She designs a lot of children's items, and this hat comes in an infant sweater that I have asked if she would make the adult sweater, because I would totally make this adult sweater. This was so fun to knit, and this yarn is merino and alpaca, and it feels fabulous. This is the Big Bad Wool by Wepaca, 50% washable merino, 50% alpaca. I used the colors bleach white, Tula, which is the hot pink, ashes, and blush. And I actually could have gotten another whole hat out of the yarn I have. So I definitely will, I don't know what I'll make. I mean, if she comes out with the adult sweater, I will definitely make a matching sweater, because this feels fabulous and it was really fun to knit, really easy. I mean, it went so fast. I made it in 2 days. I cast on December 24th, Christmas Eve, and I finished it Christmas Day. And the part that felt the longest was just that brim, and so quick and easy. I look forward to her having a adult pattern for that, adult sweater pattern for that. Okay, I wanted to talk about yarn organization today. Now, this has been a big work in progress over the Christmas holidays for me. When I first started knitting, I kept my yarn close at hand, which was, I put it in my nightstand. And then that became not a big enough space. And so I started putting it in my closet. And it's thundering outside and raining. You might be able to hear that. I started getting rid of clothes to have room for my yarn, which wasn't a bad thing. I have too many clothes. But I watched a YouTuber, I follow a YouTuber named called Nitty. I think her name's Natalie. And she shared about a problem she had with moths in her stash. And now that is a horrifying thought. So I came to the conclusion that I needed to store my yarn in covered, sealed containers that moths couldn't get into, and that I wanted to move it out of my closet. So I decided to make this my filming area. My stash is behind me. I'm gonna show you more in detail in just a second. And it's just gonna be like my little knitting area. This is what used to be my kids' playroom. They're grown and gone, so nobody comes up here to play anymore, but I'm gonna play in my yarn up here. And I have to say that I have way too much yarn. My daughter's been telling me that for a while, and I just was kind of in denial. But as I have brought it up here and spread it out, it was really actually embarrassing. And I honestly could have a yarn store, I think. I have this issue of, I'll see a really cool sweater, I'll think I'm gonna make that, and I go ahead and I buy the yarn for it, and I keep the pattern with it, and then I'll never make it because I move on to something else. When I finish my current project, I find the next exciting thing, and I don't go back and make the one I already bought the yarn for. So I have a lot of yarn. I have sorted it by color. I'm gonna show you here in a second. And I have tags. I'm gonna label everything from the Container Store. Love the Container Store. I'm very sad that they've just filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I hope they stick around. My closet still has a little bit of yarn. I've decided I will keep my current works in progress down there, so I don't have to come up here every time. I've got hooks on the wall that'll hold my current works in progress. That'll limit me to 8. Hopefully I can follow all these guidelines I'm putting in place for myself. Casey Apple from Young Folk Knits talked about putting limits on herself. That might not have been the word she used, but I love following her. And she's also in Arkansas. And I commented on her video. I said, let me know what guidelines you figure out, because I might need to follow those too. I think she talked about overcommitting. And so I've been real good about, I've started doing test knits, and I will only do 1 sweater test knit at a time. I know myself well enough to know I cannot do more than 1 and get it done and not be stressed out. I don't want to be stressed. I want this to be fun, relaxing time. So a hat is not a big deal. Like, I threw in that hat, and I recently, I just completed a test knit in early December, and I did 2 test knits for hats at the same time I was doing that sweater, because hats just honestly don't take long. And those test knits for those hats were Christmas gifts. So that was kind of gift knitting. So it kind of covered, I hit, 1 rock, 2 targets. So, let's see. I just came home today with a couple more bins from Container Store. I'm still finalizing all my plans with my yarn. So it is a work in progress. I feel like, you know, I don't feel like I will ever be a monogamous knitter. So that's just not a realistic goal for me. But maybe having the limit of 8 works in progress will work. I am telling myself that I cannot purchase yarn for a new project for, I don't know, I probably need to set a time limit, but for sure, I will be diving into my stash before I purchase new. I saw somebody else on YouTube who talked about trying to steadily reduce their stash, like always draw from it before purchasing. And she shared it was like her year in review, showing what projects she had done for all of 2023. And she listed how much of her stash she had used up during the year. So I might try to do that for 2024. You know, I'm starting this, my YouTube channel will be new in 2025. This is my 3rd episode, episode number 3. Forgot to say that at the beginning. And so I'm trying to have 5 episodes ready to go on January 1st. And I can keep track of what I use out of my stash over this next year. Since I am starting on January 1, that will be a goal that I will set. I might even have to have a clipboard I put up on my little bookshelf here. Okay, let's get down to it and I will show you my yarn. Okay, we're about to enter the non-judgment zone. You hear me? The non-judgment zone. I'm about to bare my soul on YouTube. So I just want to feel the love. I don't want to feel any judgment. I'm about to do a little redo on my closet and my yarn storage. So right now, I got 2 water bottles here. I'm gonna work on that. This is a piece I'm gonna talk about in another post. Got these are gifts for some of my little knitters. These are sweaters that need some reconstructing, or they're gonna get completely, that just needs to be washed, or they're gonna get ripped out. Yarn, Christmas gift knits. My neighbor, my good friend, thinks I can fix a pillow that's torn. Knitting's not the same as repairing, but that's okay. Yarn and project samples, project bags that I've pushed out of the way because my husband is going to put 8 hooks on this wall. Right now I've got 1 nail. I used to have a sleeping bag that hung there, but that is going to be 8 hooks coming down the wall. And I'm going to hang my current works in progress there, so I don't have to go upstairs, which is where I'm about to move all this yarn. So I've got it organized, but nothing is enclosed. And I have a friend, or I mean not a friend, someone I follow on YouTube just shared about how she got moths in her stash and how awful it was. And you know, if you don't have these things fully enclosed, then you can get moths. So like right now I have, for example, that is that's going to be a Hoti sweater. What is it? I usually keep the pattern with the yarn. I'll have to pull it out. I can't do it with one hand. This is going to be a baby blanket. This is just extras. That's a work in progress that I don't think I like. This is yarn I purchased. Let's see. I joined a club from Ireland. I haven't used it yet. And now I've had my colors done and that's not a good color for me. Look at my cute little sock blockers, but I have not finished a pair of socks yet. So you can see I have a little bit of method to the madness. Down the very bottom, more yarn. This is all my needles, buttons, patterns that I have printed out, or books. More yarn. No judgment, remember? Hang on, I got a little bit more. This is a bag that just holds bags, so when I need one I can grab it. These are a couple of works in progress. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be another velvet moss vest, which I love my velvet moss vest. These are, so this was a sweater that I had one arm finished, the sweater finished, and I ran out of yarn. So got another skein, need to finish that. Yarn I ordered that is, I don't have a project for that. Yarn I love, but I haven't picked a project for that yet either. I have this is extra yarn for a project, a work in progress. Anyway, I've got more yarn. Those are like all extras I haven't used in a long time. That's why they're on the very top shelves. But you know, mixed in amongst this is like my sweaters. I started giving up room for my clothing to make room for all my yarn stash. Whew, I know I have a lot of yarn. So my goal is to reorganize this. Okay, here's where my yarn's gonna go. This is currently a shelving unit full of games and wasp spray. Scrapbooks, I've already started pulling them off. I forgot to video first. These are my tubs I'm gonna use, and I'm making this little area. This will be like hopefully this will be my filming area from now on. I bought a dress form so I can put half-finished projects on there or fully finished, doesn't matter. And I will record my progress. Okay, it's dark in here today. It's rainy. I've got some lights shining over here on my stuff, so it's not ideal filming conditions, but I am going with it. So you can see my bins, and they actually fit in here nicely when they have the lids on. Having the lid off, I just wanted you to see how I had color coded everything. It makes them not slide in well, but they do slide in well when the lids are on. So like this is a tub of all neutrals. It's gray and browns. Turns out I have a lot of neutrals. So gray browns, all the way across this shelf. On the bottom, I have another one here. Like this one's got some Wolf Oak flet that I'm gonna make a bag. I saw, I don't know if it was Hip Knit Hooray or Knee Knits. One of them made a really cute bag, and I'm gonna make that bag. This is my mixed colors, any kind of a speckled yarn. This is all Knitting for Olive. I really like Knitting for Olive, and so like I've done all these swatches, and I have the colors listed. Can you hear that thunder? I have all the colors listed that I used, and I just, you know, when it comes to picking out, say, baby blanket colors or sweater colors, I've got all these swatches already done, and that was just kind of therapeutic. I can watch when Knitting for Olive on their Instagram page shows all those swatches, I'm in heaven. So I thought I would make some too. So that whole bin is all Knitting for Olive, just like one skeins with swatches. And my last one over here is going to be my sock tub. I'm just now starting to knit socks. I've done part of one, not even a whole one. And all of these are like, you know, Advent skeins and leftovers. Not all leftovers, like this is just a super bright I thought would be fun in socks. And my Summerlee book, which I can't wait for her new one to come out. I love Summerlee. Summerlee, I want to meet you. I have a friend in Tulsa. I come up there to craft once a quarter about, and I come up there for dog shows. In summer, we need to have lunch together. Okay, so up here, I ordered from Pearl Soho Cotton Pure on a cone. Again, thinking about baby blankets, but have I done that? No. I will, because I have a ton of it. Now I'm getting into my pinks, and I'm going to put you on pause for a minute while I take off some more lids. Okay, so opened up some more tubs. I didn't realize I could double stack them. Didn't know I had enough room for that. This is a larger size tub, and that's all creams and whites. Then I have some pinky purples. There's lots of shades in there. More pinks. Had a fluorescent. That's that Fluoro Morganite by Amy. What's her name? La Bien-Aimée. Okay, now I'm getting into blues. Lots of different shades of blue in there. This is all multicolored ones. This is blues, greens, mostly green and orange. That's like a minty, you can't tell from this light, but, and then more blue. All different shades of blue in there. Okay, so here's my section that I got a whole tub of Spin Cycle. This cream down here is a work in progress. This is a baby blanket that I've got to make before February. And this just came, and I can't remember what I was thinking I would make with that. Maybe I think I was thinking about a cardigan. And that's from Michaels. I'm trying it out, see if I like it or not. I've never ordered any yarn from Michaels. We'll see. Okay, so here it is, all closed up again. Sealed up. Got my new tubs I'm gonna get out and work on those leftovers on the side over there. And that's my new little working stash corner. I'm pretty pleased with it. One last look at my closet. I've spread my sweaters out because, look, I still have a little bit of yarn up there. But I've gotten a lot of space back. It doesn't look like I got a lot of space. I have gotten a lot of space back. All those projects that were on the floor, they're no longer on the floor. Got my hooks on the wall. I have more than 8 projects there, but look at all the progress here. I have a few things up there. It's definitely better. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll update you as I make more small changes along the way with my organization. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe.